Oh, baby, oh, shame, shame. Shame on you if you won't pass too. Don't rock the boat, cause one monkey don't stop no show. You got my feet want to moving and my body grooving. Diamond in the back. Hey, din 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 down. Oh, shame, shame, shame. Oh, shame on you. You took the videos. I said shame, shame, shame. Oh, shame on you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you didn't like that one? How about the other one? It's a shame when you take your videos down. It's a shame because you are ashamed of them. It's a shame, damn shame, the way you take your videos down because you know you're wrong and you embarrassed about your whatever. Hey people, I'm Oak Drop, Prima Wanda, all the regular peoples, TLC and 3. No, I ain't picking on her. Hi, I'm in Brown. Happy New Year. I didn't even go over there to say Happy New Year. I'm supposed to say Happy New Year to the cheering. We off to another year. We done made it through. Mm-hmm. Eugenia White. Tim, you didn't get flooded out. I get flooded out? No, my apartment's cool. I'm on the 3rd floor. Uh-huh. Our garage gets flooded out sometimes. The garage floor. Sometimes like a lake down there. Anyway, I have to come on here. I see that this person who wanted to spar with me the last few days, the last week or so, has now taken down all of her videos. So let's go to Properly Live is where we're going. Make sure I don't lose y'all. Okay. On Properly Live video, she still only has 1,015 subscribers. 1,015 subscribers. Lord have mercy. After 10 years. Anyway, she has one video up that was made 15 hours ago where she's picking peas, right? The other video, she only has 4 videos on her whole page. The other one is 10 months old, and the next one is 4 years old, and the other one is 4 years old. So she has completely washed her channel now. So we can only speculate as to why she has done this. I don't know if she feel like I'll just go over there and call him a bunch of names and talk about his life and shit, and then I'll just take my videos down. That'll be the end of it, right? I don't know if that's the right thing. I don't know if that's right, the Properly Bonafide Monster. But I have no desire to continue with you. I think we've said all that needs to be said. But I think that there's an issue with you taking down all of your videos after you made a 3.5 hour video, right? Where you felt like you were reading me. Oh, I got handed my hat, my brother, and all that bullshit, girl. Which I didn't see it that way at all, but you saw it that way. You called the video Beef Sector Gold and all this stuff, and then you take down the video the next day. Now I believe it's because you take it down because you know you're wrong and you're ashamed of who you are, because you're a woman, and we know, women. If you stay home close to your family, you have mothers, you have sisters, aunties, and your whole family still lives near where you live, right? They may want to go in there and look at your channel, correct? And they'll see you making a damn fool of yourself, hollering and screaming and drunk as a skunk. So I don't know if you are hiding your videos from coworkers, or are you hiding your videos from family members who might look into there? Are you hiding and embarrassed and ashamed for your daughter? Or has your daughter brought it to your attention? Mama, this really looks bad. You look bad. The things you're saying are bad. They're petty. And really, it embarrasses me. Maybe you should take that down. You're not drunk right now, right? Mama? Mama? Tommy, can you hear me? You're not drunk right now. Why don't we go ahead and take those down? Or there's a possibility that you are embarrassed from some of these men you're trying to date. and they see how you feel and so forth, there's some reason you had to take your videos down, because you're always trying to talk about how you want to figure out how to get more money out of YouTube, right? And you finally get a video that has some views. I think it maybe had less than 2,000 views, but that was a lot for you. And then you take it down, and all of your videos, you washed your channel completely. Is there a reason for that? Is it about the shame? Shame. Ow. Shame on you. If you don't want to don't rock the boat. Hey, what was that song called? What the hell? I just played it a minute ago. Was that woman named Shirley Murdoch or something? How y'all doing today? We're off to a new year. And it looks like y'all's girlfriend over there, Miss probably Bonafide, has surrendered, right? She knows she's not making valid points. She knows she's being nasty and evil, and she knows she's wrong. But I think that primarily she knows that she's drinking too much. I mean, the eating, that's subjective. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your body, your money. But the drinking, I think that's what embarrasses her most. And when people see her, so obviously she is inebriated, especially since every time you see her, she's drinking. Don't matter. Morning, noon, and night. So I have a little bit of bad news for you there, Properly Bonafide, since you decided to fuck with me for a week. The bad news is when somebody puts your name into the search engine, even though you took down all of your videos with the exception of 4 old videos from 4 years ago, when they put your name in there, what's going to come up is my video of me getting in that ass, right? And what we discussed is your drinking and eating and so forth, and some of your views, correct? So you're not out of the water yet, darling. But we ain't going to belabor this. We're not going to let you become a Jay Wilson. So I give you a constant content. I'm glad you did get a few views from there. It looks like you got, for the first time in at least a year, you actually got over 1,000 views on a couple of those nasty videos that you made. It's a damn shame that you have to take them down. See, a lot of people feel like, well, I've already gotten paid from the video. Now I can take it down, right? But that's not how this thing here works. You only get a decent check from AdSense. You keep talking about how you want to get extra money from AdSense. You're going to get money because you have a string of videos. Now, granted, people are not watching old videos that much, right? But when you're talking about a whole country, if a few people click on this one, somebody likes that one. Sometimes people will watch one video if they like to read 10, 20 times. I do that all the time. If it's something I think is extremely funny and I need to break my mood up, I'll listen to an old video. So if you have, 100 old videos, I think I had like 1,000 old videos, whatever, that still brings you revenue so that your AdSense won't dip below. Now, if you have no videos at all, girl, what can you expect? You expect to really get paid from a video you had up for one day? I'm just saying, you said you're educated, so I would think that you would figure this shit out in 10 years. You still ain't figured it out, girl. How y'all doing today? I made it through a whole year. Somehow we made it through the storm and rain. We made it. Somehow we made it. No sickness this year or nothing. This is a pretty good year for me. We just got to be grateful. You know who I met at church on Sunday? Y'all heard of wait a minute. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Jeannie Tracy. Jeannie Tracy was at our church on Sunday. I think she's from the Bay Area. But she had a string of hits, of R&B hits back in the day. Her voice was still strong. I sat right next to her. I'm an usher in my church, and she was the guest singer. She sat right next to me. So we had a few moments. Jeannie Tracy. It was nice. There are a lot of talent has come out of Oakland. A lot of people come through Love Center Church, which was Walter Hawkins Church. So we met a few people. That was nice. Then we went on. We had, I don't drink, so I had no desire to go out to party and nothing like that. But we had dinner at a friend's house for New Year's. It was good. It's good to get out of the house. She's jealous because my home is exquisite. Girl, they keep trying to convince me I'm not a decorator. Oh, they all reproduction. I said, girl, could you just move over a little tiny taste and let's judge your stuff, your shit. Why you always got your ass in other people's lives, in their houses, and what the fuck they do, and you ain't exposing your own, girl? We've seen that ugly ass picture behind you. Now just move it over a little bit, and then we can talk about your designs. And I especially like to get in there, Jay Wilson designs, girl. They're so invested in putting other people down. Now I see Wilson is over there fucking with Brian because Brian apparently was filming something in his gym. Of course, Jay Wilson got to go in there and put his feet all up in that boy's business, right? He's just sitting there. He's like Gladys Kravitz Wilson, all up in everybody else's business. Well, nigga, show us what you're going on in your gym and why you have to go at 12 o'clock at night. Why don't we pick it up there? We know you go to Growler. We know you go to Jacked. So what's going on that has to go on so late at your gym? Because San Antone ain't that damn big. I mean, I don't know that I would have to go to the gym in the wee hours. So what, you go work out and then go right to bed? Anyway. The children are off to a new start. Let me see. I mean, I can understand to some extent, you have to have content. And when you choose to be over here in the beef sector, it's not, you don't have like worldly content, right? You don't got to follow the stories of Donald Trump, and that's just loaded, right? But people are not coming over here for that. So you want to discuss other things that they're just not here for it. So in order to stay in the beef sector, you got to be beefing with people. But that Wilson, he is so judgmental about everyone's life. And then he makes the speeches about how none of his business is their business. And that's my business. That's my business. It's just the strangest thing I've ever heard of here. Everything's a secret. When I was talking to that 3.5-hour video they made, right? What was it on? It was, what's that? I got to get out of here. I got to go get a pedicure in a minute. 3 o'clock. But, yeah, I was over there in that 3.5-hour thing. It was just a bunch of yelling, screaming, hollering, right? But as soon as I said I am dyslexic. Oh, and Wilson was on the same panel, right? Oh, I didn't even know you was dyslexic. I didn't. Like she got some juicy tea, nigga. I've been talking about dyslexia since before I even had a YouTube channel, bitch. Oh, I didn't know he was on a fixed income. Like that was a secret or something, girl. I told you I work somewhere. She's always trying to get into somebody else's business to criticize them. What kind of doctors are these? I don't understand it, girl. I mean, I'm just saying, if I'm a doctor and I don't know if he's a scientist or lecturer or whatever the fuck he is, I'll be off busy in my career. That is what is missing, the career issue, right? So in that thing, I get it's taken down as well, but some people in her chat, of course, they're all against me just by the fact that they're there. They didn't like me asking Jay Wilson, was he sick, right? Yet there's always references to made. I didn't say nothing about your status. Well, even just by saying I have a status, nigga, is talking about my status, girl. When you're discussing my income and why am I disabled and my disability and I don't work and all that shit, isn't that all about my disability, girl? And I asked you one goddamn question. All I asked you, girl, you're sick. And the only reason I asked you were you sick because I just noticed the facial wasting. Right? So what is good for the goose is not good for the gander. And this probably Bonafide monster seems like to me, at least anytime I've looked over there, every video she makes it always brings in HIV. Can I speak a moment about HIV AIDS? People don't understand something. You think you're really reading. You're reading to survive AIDS in the 80s and 90s, where I was a full-blown drug addict, where I was shooting drugs up every day, 3 and 4 times a day. When I was in and out of prison, going on damn near, let me see. I got diagnosed in 86, they told me, but I actually got diagnosed in 91, right? So we're talking about over 30 years ago. And I'm still sitting here, still relatively healthy. I'm comfortable in my life. You think that's a read? We just came through the worst pandemic since the goddamn plague, right? And you ain't got a goddamn thing to say about COVID, which has cost 1 million lives in this country alone. 1 million people have died, and your ass is still talking about a disease that was killing us 30 years ago, right? This is where you find your comfort. I can say this about you. Oh, you got something. Oh, and then you have the nerve to take issue with me asking, are you sick because your face is wasting? And I didn't say anything about HIV. You jumped to that conclusion because you're obsessed with it. And we don't know a goddamn thing about Jay Wilson, because even if he was positive, there ain't no way in hell a personality like that would ever say that publicly. But they jumped to that conclusion. Oh, you say, oh, you don't like the health reads. You don't like the health read. Miss Thing, why are you even discussing anybody's health? Right? Why? But we can't discuss your health. You have wasting in your face. Now, I thought injections were put in there because it seems to be ropes through your cheeks or fat that wasn't there, say 2-3 weeks ago. So what's changed? So, Wilson gives you classic Wilson answers. I asked him, I said, listen, why are you not wearing your glasses? Oh, I'm getting older. It's just because I'm getting older and I can see better when I look. I said, Jay Wilson, you were wearing glasses every day up until a week ago. What are you talking about? You're getting older. You're aged. Are you Benjamin Button? You've aged in a week. You're not even going to acknowledge the fact that you're taking your glasses off. And I tried to help him by saying, listen, your glasses were essential to your face, right? Perhaps we wouldn't even be aware of the wasting in your cheeks and this roundness in your eyes. And then you look like you're wearing eyeliner. You say, I didn't wear no eyeliner. I didn't. Well, Miss Thing, have you had them tattooed in? So you have to catch him in everything. Oh, you said I had it. You said I had eyeliner on. I didn't have eyeliner, but I had tattoo in my eyelids. Is that the answer? What is the answer, right? Shame, shame, shame. Oh, shame on you. CJ Wilson, when you really get free, now you feel like you are free now because I see you come online and you calling everybody girl and honey and Miss Thing and all that. You feeling that you have completely come out, right? But there's still a blanket of shame on you. You are ashamed of everything, honey. He come on there talking about when them people doxed him and publicly humiliated him and exposed that he did not have a job. He was there on a temporary. He came out on that long video she took down and said that she made more money than the people who work there, right? Oh, I would never want to work there. I would never. Miss Thing, what do you want to do exactly, Jay Wilson? I get this much an hour. I get this much. Miss Thing, first of all, Jay Wilson, you're over here bragging about you got to have a master's degree to be a chaplain. I know that's bullshit, girl. I know chaplains. I know one right now at the St. Mary's Hospital, child. I don't know that he even has a bachelor's degree. Right? It's a program, Jay Wilson. And you're lying when you're saying that you're making more money than people who actually work there. And even if they paid a high wage for temporary workers because they need them for a few days, the agency takes a portion of that money. They're not a nonprofit. They're not just doing this for free. Let me send you somebody over there for free. No, you're quoting us a number from what the agency is collecting. You ain't collecting shit, child. You were humiliated. You can't accept it. You continue to spin. Everything has got to be spun. That means, Jay Wilson, let me help you. I don't mind helping out. That means that you are ashamed. You're ashamed you can't hold a job, right? You're ashamed that you keep getting caught in everything. Nobody has been caught in as much shit as you have, Jay Wilson, right? Do you remember what it was like when Tracy called on people on you, child? All she did was call employment verification. I can do that shit. Does he work there? How long you work there? Okay, we're considering hiring him. Can we ask you how long you work there? That's it, right? He doesn't work here. He hasn't worked here in a couple of months, right? And you came on here putting on a shirt and tie like you were on your way to work. And oftentimes saying that you were on your way to work from your car. Now that's shame. It's plain and simple. What are you so ashamed of? You keep thinking you caught me in something, girl. Oh, where your degrees? Where you no portfolio? Where's your portfolio for interior design? Nigga, I mentioned to you that I had worked as a decorator in my 20s, right? And I have news for you, Jay Wilson. I worked many places in my 20s, early 30s, child. I mean, it ain't that big a deal to work somewhere, girl. But now you got to have documentation and degrees. And where's your portfolio? Nigga, if I had portfolio, which I did have a portfolio when I was interested in working there, that being my career, right? When we start tweaking, somebody tweaked the goddamn thing up, tore, cut pieces in it, whatever. But that's ancient history. I wouldn't have something like that if I went to prison 10 times, nigga. What do you think that? Oh, sir, can we hold your portfolio for you? This thing is all about starting over for years, starting over every year. Every year I started over, girl. I didn't have no more couches. I didn't have no more pictures on the wall. I stopped putting pictures on the wall, nigga, because I was going back to prison. Why? Because I chose to do drugs. That's what I chose to do, Jay Wilson. You're always concerned about someone else's choices. And I would suggest that your choices have been among the worst because it didn't produce any fruit. Judge them by their fruit. They produced no fruit, Jay Wilson. In other words, you were trying to tell God what you gonna do instead of accepting the gifts that God has given you, right? And perhaps you would have found out what you were supposed to be doing and be doing it instead of over here hollering about you some kind of goddamn pastor. And only thing about a pastor you know is trying to find verification that you're not going to hell. That's why you went to seminary. That's your only issue. Hi, people. A chocolate rose. How y'all doing today? To survive the 80s is survive the 80s. That's a miracle. You people, you don't know. He don't know shit because he was never there. Hiding out in that damn church. Hiding out. You don't know what it was like, child. And for me to be out there in the streets doing all the shit that I did, and you think, oh, you got HIV. You got nigga. If I died tonight, I'm like Tupac. If I died tonight, I've already lived. It's over, girl. I mean, all this is all extra and gravy. When you wake up in the morning, thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. So for the record, that is not reading me. Say you HIV. So what does it mean? Oh, you got to tell people you have HIV. Why would I tell them I have HIV? I ain't had sex in 15 years, girl. Tell them for what? But see, when you're clothed in shame, because I didn't have to tell nobody I had HIV. I didn't have to tell nobody that I did drugs. I didn't have to tell nobody shit about me if I was shrouded in shame. But I'm not shrouded in shame. I got no problem saying exactly who Timothy Blaine is, was, will do. It was a pleasure for me to write my story. I wrote my whole real story in Meth Monster Girl, and my grandmother read that book, and my mother read that book, and members of my family. I'm not ashamed. Don't you get it? I'm not ashamed. That's why I can write, girl, and I don't give a goddamn who reads it, girl. Be free. When you're free, you can actually be useful. Long as you lying and you just, oh, tell me your issues. Tell me so I can go on YouTube and make fun of you. Mm. So they are a match. If ever there was a like a bisexual type, he's not bisexual. Jay Wilson is all gay all the way, honey. But she is willing to be with a gay man because she'll settle for anything at this point, right? Their personalities are very similar, right? Now we don't know to what extent she is a failure. We know for absolutely certain that Jay Wilson is an absolute and total failure because you moved into a house before you got fired. What was it? A few months before you got fired, girl. That ain't no damn accomplishment. That ain't nothing but a bill. She keeps saying that she's what she said she was. She's an engineer. Whether she is or not, we don't know what her circumstance is. But their personalities are very, very similar. They are both shallow, empty vessels. Empty, useless. They ain't bringing nobody to God. Jay Wilson can't even have a decent conversation. He wants to go back and discuss pedestrian or some shit. All of his spiritual background is just trying to figure out a way to justify who he is because he got to get it in the book. If it ain't written in the book, then don't mean nothing. It is a goddamn shame. Mm-hmm. He's a whole gal. That's right, Kevin Moore. A whole woman. Now she all. Ooh, girl. Ooh. I said, ooh, girl, she's flaming, honey. All them years hiding out, child, sneaking and creeping. Oh, don't say that. Oh, don't say that. And sitting up in them damn churches while they talk about faggots, sitting up in them church all them damn years, child, pretending like you one of them. And even when you finally come out the closet because Wally forced you out, you had the nerve to drag your pitiful ass on her talking about you a bisexual. I don't know why that seems to be the go-to. Anytime you see celebrity, when they come out, they always say they're bisexual, right? Because they're trying to hold on to an audience. Jay Wilson, you ain't got no audience. These 50 or 60 people here follow you, girl. That ain't no damn audience. There's no reason you on here talking about you a bisexual. It's a lie. You're a liar. Mm-hmm. Keep kicking the beehive, messing with Uncle Tim. Child, they had 3.5 hours. Now, he say he don't like me talking about him, right? He don't try to avoid me, right? But then when he see me on here, me and that loud woman cussing for a fucking, was it hour and a half? He dragged his black ass on here, and then he clicks it on, and now he wants to yell and scream too, right? See, he's so money hungry. What y'all got to understand about Jay Wilson. Yesterday was the first of the month. On the first of the month, he's got to come up with all the money he needs for his bills, right? Cash App, Super Chat, AdSense, it's all coming from here, right? Because he has no real viable income, right? He'll holler 401k, 401k. Well, goddamn. Well, you got millions of dollars in the 401k, girl. That's what you're going to retire on. Oh, I'm going to retire on 401k. All you got to do is put the 401k in your search engine, and you can research and see exactly what that is. For a man who's never been able to hold a job, it ain't shit, right? For a person who has removed money to buy a house, they probably removed pretty much what was in there because the only jobs you ever kept, girl, were back in your 20s and 30s, right? I don't know if even 30s. He keeps talking about this damn airline job, child. I said, God damn, Miss Thing, you lived a whole lifetime, and all you did, I guess that's why he clinged to me saying that I worked as a designer or a decorator by design in Los Angeles when I was in my 20s. I think I started 26, ended at 20, couple of years I worked there, but I worked a lot of places. Oh, you got to show the degrees. Miss Thing, that's ancient history, girl. I got 4 and 5 different histories after that. Anyway. He bought that Volvo as soon as he got the temp job. Exactly. Bad. Oh, you are so on top of it, TLC and 3. He bought that Volvo as soon as he got that temp job. Almost immediately after he gets a temporary assignment, he goes and buys a new car. Bad decision. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. And you see how all the talk about the Ubers disappeared? First, he denied he drove for Uber. Then when they unveiled that he was, in fact, an Uber driver, then everything, I'm going to drive my Uber. I'm going to drive my Uber. So what happened to the Uber talk, nigga? You lost that too? Who the fuck loses a job for Uber? They going to see me. He probably saw somebody from YouTube, girl. He thought they were going to dox his ass, so he went on and left Uber too. I can just go to YouTube. This is easy money. This is easy money. If you want to give, we having a cash app for the moderators. This is just for the moderators. Just for the moderators. The next day he will say, "Oh, I want to thank all of you who gave. All of you who gave me that. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. It was for the moderators." Let's think, if it was for the moderators, why are you accepting gifts? Right? Why are you skimming off the top? This thing is for the moderators. The moderators say, well, if you love me, let me get a gift from you. What have you done for me lately? Well, I'll say that for another time. I want to apologize to my moderators because I used to take pleasure in being able to tip you every once in a while, but it just ain't coming in like that, baby. I'm sorry. If things pick up, we'll pick it up, you know. Anyway, I don't make YouTube about money. The whole idea. Oh, he said, I'll give you $500 to get some new teeth. Well, why would you be concerned about my teeth? It's like, am I going to suck your pussy, bitch? Why you got your face all in people's mouths? These doctors and what the fuck are you, a psychiatrist or some kind of shit, girl? All you talk about is somebody's teeth. Both of them do that. Just so silly. And that probably thing, she just got the damn braces off, girl, in her 40s. So what was it like before the 40s? Oh, you got a space. You got a space in your teeth. Like, I care. The point is, I have teeth. Not everybody can say that, bitch. It's a blessing, right? I'm an old dude. I did drugs for many years. I got teeth. Like that man said, when I get to heaven, I'm going to get me some shoes. Because he never had no shoes. I'm going to get me some shoes. I got teeth right here on earth, bitch. That Jay Wilson shimmy. Thought that gay is just all up in her, girl. That gay is just all up in her mistake. I asked him about his face. I tried to be nice. I just asked him if he was sick, right? Because those ridges, boy, put your glasses back on, please, honey. You need to soften that look for the camera, Jay Wilson, because you say 10 years younger than me. I don't know that you look younger than me at all. I'd say you look about my same age, girl. So you already looking 65? At 55, what you gonna look like at 70? Woo! Like, mama, I feel like a raisin in the sun. I feel all the time like a cat on a hot tin roof. Monstrous. Does Mark kiss you in that face, Jay Wilson? I'd be curious to know. He couldn't do that, girl. Well, I guess if you close your eyes, you can do pretty much anything, child. Happy New Year. Y'all got plans for the New Year's? Y'all got New Year's resolutions? Who's crazy enough to buy a Volvo a few weeks after a temp job? He's nigger rich. I mean, I hate to use the language, but that's what we always called it, girl. You get a few dollars and go out and go crazy. I'm gonna buy me a brand new car, and then come on here and tell us that he's got some job making $125,000 a year, which later turns to $165,000 a year on this job that he got. Immediately coming, I guess they hired him while he was in the school, and now he has the audacity to come and say he never wanted the job. I never wanted the job. I just wanted to work temp. I just want Jay Wilson. We are not stupid. We know what a temp agency is, girl. You trying to make a career out of working temp jobs? Are you insane, Jay Wilson? You are a 55-year-old bitch, honey. There's a whole lot of people in line before you that will be hired on the. You trying to say you don't want a job now? Is that what it is? You just went to got all these degrees, you degrees to be a temporary worker. Is that what you trying to spin it like this? This is something I planned. This is something I planned. You lied about it, Jay Wilson. And somebody walked by you on the job, girl, and they told this guy, what's his name, ZX or whatever, right? He told them and their people, and then they doxed you, child. You keep saying, dox me, go ahead and dox me. And then, okay, they said, okay, ain't no problem, nigga. And they did. And then the people find out that you don't work there. The only reason you have to cop to now that you choosing to work temporary assignments, girl, is because you got caught. This is like everything. It's everything after you get caught. Jay Wilson, you are still not free, honey. What is that Bible doing for you? Right? I got delivered in that Bible, right? What are you getting out of it? I started to watch some, they got a lot of Christ videos, movies on here on YouTube. Don't ask me why they make him always blonde and blue eyes or whatever. Black people make him black, other people, these Americans make him blonde hair, all that kind of, I don't think that's the point. I think the point is the message of what happened. But I couldn't get through. I said, no, this is going to require me to think too much. So I got to get in the right mood to sit down and watch these 3-hour movies just to refresh on what has been done for us. Because if you dependent on these charlatans, you ain't gonna get nothing, child. They just want to keep you going so they can keep a job. Jay Wilson don't know nothing about no Bible. He just using it for money. That's what he came on. That's the whole thing behind the pastor. It came on. He said pastor, right? He came on making this channel. It was only a license to beg. That's it. The church is one place where you can go and they have justification for begging, because they can always say, will a man rob God? Are you giving the money to God? Meanwhile, they're driving Mercedes, Jaguars, Maseratis, and all that. So I said, well, wait a minute. If I gave the money to God, why are you buying a car with it? I'm a servant of God, child. It's a good scam. I mean, if you got the gift of gab, honey, your gift is the gift of gab. You can go and turn it into a calling, but not everybody's called. Now, I've encountered people, spiritual people, who is obvious to me have been called. They have the power in the way they preach. As a matter of fact, some things that you experience that are purely spiritual. Like for instance, one time I go to City of Refuge. We're primarily LGBTQ. We used to be here in San Francisco. Now we're in Oakland, and it's also a church you can see here on YouTube, right? But I'm an usher, and so a big part of y'all go to church. Y'all know what it is. Big time part of the usher's job is to catch people so they won't fall and hurt themselves and all that kind of stuff, right? And there was this transgender woman. I don't know her name. Transgender person. Now, I never seen a transgender preacher up until that point. I never experienced. But if you're going to experience a transgender preacher, you would certainly see that at the City of Refuge, San Francisco. Anyway, this person, people were running up. Everybody got happy. People were running up to the stage, and she was touching them, and they were falling out on the floor. Right? Now, I know I had seen a fake experience like that in the church that I attended, but I had never seen it actually real, right? So I was on the side, and I said, I want to know, because I was a baby Christian at that point, and I was still trying to learn things. Is this real? Because everybody she touched, they just fell out, just for her to think that they would fall out when she touched them. I thought it was a mystery. You know, I'd already seen all of the criticism of Benny Hinn, all these people making people walk out of wheelchairs and all that kind of shit, right? So I was very skeptical. So I positioned myself, because there were other ushers on the other side of the room. I positioned myself. I said, I'm going to get a taste of this firsthand, right? So I maneuvered around trying to help as much as I can. But I was moving towards this woman, right? This transgender woman, right? And then right in the middle of the floor, she hit me, and I screamed, and I was out. I was out. I wasn't unconscious. I could see people around me, right? I said, this shit is real. So I know that there's some spiritual things that I don't understand because it hasn't happened to me. People would tell you of miracles in their lives. Like many people would tell you about health miracles in their lives. And you say, oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That just happened. The doctors did that. The doctors did all that kind of stuff, right? Until it happens to you. My deliverance from drugs is a miracle. It is an absolute miracle for me to be so deep into that, to that lifestyle, and then to go to God, to accept Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, to begin a relationship where I communicated with him and believed that he actually heard me. And then to have the obsession to use dope gone completely. And here I am 22 years later, and it's still gone. That is something personal. That's what I mean. That's what they talk about when they say a personal relationship, right? Something that God has done for you in the Spirit of God. How in the hell did I get over here? Okay, I'm about to go on one. Timothy, you ain't no preacher, child. I forgot how I got on that right there, but that ain't what no Jay Wilson is giving you, honey. He ain't trying to save no souls. How you kind of save souls and you making fun of the souls? The ones you consider the most pitiful and poorest, those are the ones you want to go over there and make fun of, girl. That ain't no ministry. That ain't no calling. You ain't been called to shit. We would see it in you if that were your calling. Ain't no calling. You saw the pastor in that ramshackle trailer, whatever your local church was. You saw him pulling off in a Cadillac when you was a little baby pickaninny, and you decided, well, that's what I want to do, right? A license to beg. That's all you're in it for. There's nothing spiritual about you, Jay Wilson, right? You would think that a pastor or a minister, or they would rejoice in the testimonies of other people. That's these niggas try to hide. Girl, bury that. Oh, you put it on YouTube. You put it on YouTube. A reason to criticize, right? Most people would say, well, hell, if you deliver it from whatever it was, tell me about it. So I don't know, right? This nigga goes and finds out though whatever he considers to be your lowest point. Oh, you a dumpster diver. You a dumpster. This thing. That was years and years and years ago, girl. I'm a living testimony now. Doesn't that mean anything, girl? I am a living testimony. I could have been dead and gone, but God, he let me live on. I'm a living testimony. Baby. Oh, this Hampton man. Who is the Hampton man? Lord have mercy. Walter Hampton's over there cussing out his relatives now because they smoke weed. We don't discuss Walter Hampton no more. But them niggas, they'll always bring his name up, even though that was 5 years ago. Oh, you talked about Walter Hampton. You're the defenders of Walter Hampton now. I don't think he needs your help, girl. What's going on, Mr. Whitehead, lately? We know he went to jail. Then he got out. He bailed out. I think it was $50,000. What do you want? 10% on the bond? He either had to put up bail or a bond. And we ain't heard no more from him for a while. I think pretty much everybody was telling him to shut his mouth and don't say nothing because you have created this monster by running your mouth. Mm-hmm. God bless everyone, Tehran says. Oh, all right, honey. Mm-hmm. Christ wanted you to go out into the world and make disciples. They didn't want you blocking people. They didn't want you judging people unless you be judged yourself. The church got it all fucked up, right? They just want to get in their little clique, girl, and then send everybody else to hell. That's not what you ain't doing nothing for God. You're not accomplishing anything because you're not bringing people unto Him. You understand that? If I would listen to them damn people, I would have ran from the damn church. Like I told y'all before, honey, in 12-step program, I don't do that, but I did it in my 20s. There are people more willing to believe that God is the doorknob. Make God, if they see that doorknob, if you can't believe in nothing else, believe in the doorknob. They would rather believe in the doorknob than to believe in Christ's church. That is a goddamn shame. It is a shame. It is the damage you have done. Right? You can say pretty much anything in the meetings, but you say the name of Jesus. Oh, come on. It's too much, girl. This is the damage these people do it, right? They thought the Bible was a battering ram. Mm. Mm. I think your TLC in 3, your story is a story of success. His story is a story of failure, right? Because he wanted and expected so much, right? He expected so much, he thought he just had to stay in school for 10 years. And he's still bragging about being in school 30 years ago. I think it's pretty pitiful. I would say wasted time, honey. When I think about all them luscious ass men's and ooh, I don't even want to think. Ooh, I don't even want to think about it. He thinks somebody give a fuck about what he think about their life. You got one. Everybody gets one, honey. Do what you want to with it. A professional student is that's exactly what that is literally what Jay Wilson is. That's the only thing he could accomplish is going to school. That's it. I mean, it's not new. There's always been professional students. They just stay in school forever, honey. Get PhD, CHD, Zoro, Rio, anything. And many of them are just getting living off student loan. But many of them, that's all they can do. They can't apply anything. Jay Wilson, did he make anybody feel like running down the aisles? Come on, man. How do we know he's been to university? Because he said it. He said he did. That's it. The diplomas are right there in back of him. Oh, call the school. Why we got to call the school, girl? All you got to do is take the damn thing down. Let's discuss the damn what you are so educated in, because you don't have the appearance of an educated person in anything. Not really. What are these certificates? Right? I believe probably hustled his way through college. People can do that, particularly when they don't drink or smoke weed. Right? They just do the study. I can't accept that. But all these other shit, other degrees. Now you're gonna say you got a degree. He said a chaplain, you got to have at least a master's degree. You got to have this thing. I've been in the hospital enough to know what a chaplain does, right? We have had interns come through the church who work as chaplains. It is generally speaking a temporary assignment attached to their education, right? Usually the ones who stay in the hospitals, they're old people. Old retired preachers, honey. Anyway, got a PhD. Now he just need a job. I asked him yesterday. I said, "Lord, have mercy. You keep talking about you walking the dog. I'm walking the dog. I'm walking the dog. I'm going to the gym. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym." I said, "Miss Thing, you need to go to a job, girl. If that's what you're gonna be on here running your mouth about day and night, girl, shouldn't you go out and get a job?" Oh, I make more money at the temporary. Yeah, but the man on the job, Jay Wilson, is working 40 hours a week, 40, 50 hours a week. You breeze through, girl. You know, 4 hours here, 3 hours there, and basically a chaplain is just hanging around, girl. You know, you go in there, you peek in people's room, look like they're on their deathbed. God bless you. You need a master's degree to do that. You know, you say you need a PhD to do that. Whatever. As usual, we've landed in the same old place, Timothy. You can have an associate's degree, and they make you a manager of McDonald's. He should be a manager at McDonald's. Shit. We saw him with his little shirt and tie on going to the mall. The mall wasn't even open yet, right? Only people going in the mall were people who work there, whether it was a temporary assignment or not. I'm concerned about what he called these temporary assignments. He think he making $39 an hour or whatever. But how often do you actually work, Jay Wilson? If you're making $39 an hour, girl, and you only work 1 hour, then you're making $39 a week. And how many temporary chaplain jobs do you really need? You need for the regular chaplain to go on vacation. That's 2 weeks worth of work a year. Maybe you got 3 of them. So you're working 6 weeks a year. That's 6 weeks, right? Somebody got a cold, somebody's out for 4 days, then you go there and you just basically just sitting in the office. You don't really do anything as the chaplain. Somebody needs prayer. Who don't know how to pray? Good morning, God. That's prayer. I had to get a PhD to say that prayer. I had to do it. He told me yesterday. He said, I said, you're a philosopher, right? I said, listen, he said he was a doctor. I said, well, listen here, I got pain in my feet, doctor. Can you help me? And he hasn't there. So he said, no, I can pray for you. That's what my PhD is in, girl. A PhD to pray. This is Juanita Bynum theology, honey. Lord have mercy. Just open your mouth and talk to him, baby. Keep it personal. And I'm not saying anything wrong. The Bible's brilliant, but just don't make it God. Right? God is real. He's spirit. He's always been spirit. Really? I mean, you read other people's stories about what somebody else did 4,000 years ago and all that kind of. You're talking about that. That's their story, right? What about your own story? Well, how do you know him personally? If you knew him personally, Jay Wilson, you wouldn't be on here acting like the piece of shit that you do. Right? You're one of the most repulsive people on the beef sector. And why did you find the beef sector of all places? I mean, YouTube has got so many different sectors, and some of them people is making $200,000 or $300,000 a year, right? But you come and park your ass over here to beef sector because that's the best you can do, girl. Right? Talking about people. All up there. Why are you over there up in Brian's ass? Let Brian live his life, honey. Oh, I just want to say, I just got to say, I want to say something about you. Put it on you, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up saying the same shit over and over and over again. Ho. He was probably paid per denim. What is a denim? Not an hourly rate. He's lying, child. I'm trying to convince somebody that somebody with a real job makes less money than him because he's on temporary. You're a temporary assignment, right? And you got us the paper and you say, oh, it's $39 an hour. You didn't know that? I said, well, we looked it up right online. It said the thing clearly said, Google said that a entry level chaplain is making $27,000 a year. Now he took that and it took him months to come up with his new story. Now his new story is that he makes much more as a temp. You don't make much more as a temp because you don't work the hours, Jay Wilson, dumbass. That's why people want a real job, girl. Oh, I made $50 an hour. I made $50 an hour. How many hours did you work this month? 3 hours? You making $150 a month? He ain't even looking for no damn job. I said, J.J. Wilson. And it wouldn't even be a thing about a job. Most people work. It's not unusual to work, right? Hold on. I got to get rid of these sex people on here. Hold on. I got to get rid of, I got to report them. Pornography. Queenie, please be quiet. Okay. Back to the story. They ain't gonna, how you gonna get benefits from a damn temp assignment, girl? You're doing so much better than the people who actually work there. They've been working there 20 years. You bring your bald head ass in there. Oh, I make more money than them. You don't make more money than shit, Jay Wilson, right? We see you on here night and day, girl. You always talking about you going to walk the dog, or you going to the gym, or you going to some drive-through where you don't have $2.50 on your goddamn debit card, and you come up with some big stupid ass story talking about, oh, that's because they sent me this. They sent me what did they say? They sent him some shit. Oh, that was the wrong card. It was canceled because of the date. See, it's expired. It's expired. Putting up a debt. He don't even know that the goddamn thing is saying it's not expired to 27. To the year 27, not the day 27, right? And then he doesn't even realize that he just got caught in another lie. You said that's why they stopped your card, right? And then you had the nerve to come online and cut up your own debit card. And somebody in your chat had to tell you, hey, stupid, it says 10/27. That's 4 years away from now, 5 years away from now. Oh, I knew that. I knew that. Girl. I'm Marie B. He went to the extreme to save face. Well, he did a miserable job of it. He cut up his own damn debit card. Not that there was anything on it, but when AdSense pays you, the money goes into your account. It's a direct deposit. That's the only way they pay you now, is you have to have direct deposit. When I first started on this thing, they would send you a check, right? But now you have to have direct deposit. So he needs that debit. It wasn't nothing in there left because he had to pay all them damn bills with it, right? But he can never tell the truth about anything. And he wants us to believe now that he is called by God. A man who gets a job that requires compassion, but yet he has no compassion. God would never allow that. A man, God before everything says, a man who gets a job that requires compassion, but yet he has no compassion at all. God would never allow that. Ain't no calling. That is no calling. Do you imagine somebody like Jay Wilson over here giving the rights over your dying mama or your dying daddy? And this is what they get. Oh, I got a PhD in prayer. I got it. God, thank you. Bless you for all this time on the planet. Thank you. Thank you. My mom came through a surgery. Bless you. Bless you. My children are not in jail. I am grateful. I'm grateful I have a home. Thank you. Everything, honey, everything. This glasses, thank you. Right? Whatever the fuck it is, girl. I told this finger to move. Thank you. Look at me making a move, God. I ain't doing no effort at all. It just does automatically in a millisecond. Whole body just moved. What time is it? I got to go get a pedicure at 3:15. Thank you. That's your prayer, Jay Wilson. I don't need a PhD to do that. Oh, that job needs a PhD. That you're a damn fool, then, child. You wasted your damn life to go in there and be a damn temp jobs for the rest of your life. It is pitiful. Jay Wilson, listen to me. I got a word for you. The word is pitiful. You think you're getting over on here because you can come over here and beg people, you say you're going to drop them offline. If you give me $300, I'll jump. Who has to give you $300, girl, for you to take somebody off that tired ass channel? You ain't kidding. You're serious. You're pitiful, Jay Wilson. You have restricted yourself to a life of begging. Maybe begging works in the church. It is not how you live in the real world. Okay. All right, people. A PhD to read the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the. Don't 12-year-olds do that? Lord have mercy. Uh-uh. Yeah, that boy crazy, child. But I got to make my appointment, so I got to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming in. Mm. I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to have a laugh, sing a song. Good night, guys.